Happy Magic Monday! We made it to another magical week. Okay, so last week was probably my favorite oracle card reading I've done yet. Like, I've done a lot of oracle card readings, and last week just made me laugh so much because it was such a coincidence that it reminded me that this stuff is real. In my opinion, there's something going on. I felt like the universe, the spirits, I felt like they were listening, because last week I had literally just talked about how I'm in Da Nang in Vietnam and I'm stuck inside, and I stayed inside all week, and I was working on my website, and there were days I didn't step outside of our apartment. And then I pulled the card that said, go outside. And I lost it. It was so perfect. You have been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. Oh my God, I'm dying. If you don't believe in oracle cards, you should now, because I've been inside all week. Okay, I love moments like this because it's so real. Okay. So Cordelia told me to go outside, and I made a vow to go outside every day this past week. And that was really good for me. That was something I think all of us need to do. And I did go outside every day. There were days that I just stayed at the apartment building and just went up to the pool, or there was even a day I didn't really get outside. I just sat on our balcony, but I think that counts. I mean, we are in lockdown after all. So I am in Da Nang. I don't even know how long this lockdown has lasted. I haven't really been keeping track of the days. It feels like forever. So last week, I had this feeling that they were going to extend the lockdown, and then sure enough, they did. And there's not really an end date to it. It wasn't 2 weeks. It's more like until further notice. So we're all just kind of sitting inside wondering, when can we go out again? So we're not actually really able to go outside much. You do see a lot of people outside and families, but technically you're only supposed to go out if it's a necessity, if you need to go to the store. And as a foreigner in Vietnam, I don't want to risk it too much. So there were a couple times I got groceries, and then I would do a little walk, and that was really cool to walk around and see all the families out, people playing badminton. But I had read articles that people were being fined for being outside and doing things like badminton. So it's a weird spot to be in. It's kind of a risk. You're putting yourself at risk if you're going outside and doing those types of things. So I figured I wasn't going to get in any trouble if I had groceries with me and I was walking around. But anyway, it was very good for me. And a couple days I came up to the pool, sat in the sun, got some vitamin D. That was very much missing in my life for a while while sitting inside the apartment. So thank you, Cordelia. It was a great week going outside. I'm gonna continue going outside. I was using the treadmill a lot this week, and I was putting my iPad on the treadmill and watching the Good Witch movies, because I just found out that the show I've been talking about the past couple weeks, it's on Netflix, called Good Witch. It's a Hallmark Channel show, which I never thought I would love a Hallmark Channel movie or show so much. But when I was doing research on it, I found out that there's 8 movies. They started making movies in 2008 for this show. So when I was watching this show, I was like, what's the backstory? What's her story? How did she get to this town? Well, it's all in these movies. So I've been watching the movies. And so I've been walking on the treadmill, and then I have my iPad on and I watch the movie, and it's just been a really, really good routine. It's been fun, doing this routine of treadmill, swimming, working on my website, going outside, working, making some really yummy food, and yeah, lockdown has been okay. So anyway, I did also, I found out that Vietnam actually does have a lot of oracle card decks. I thought I wasn't ever going to be able to get an oracle card deck here, but there's a site called Lazada and I can totally buy oracle card decks. So I did. I bought a new one. I'm going to get more acquainted with it and I'll probably use it next week. The funny thing, I'll tell you about it next week, but the funny thing about Vietnam is like whatever you order, you don't quite get exactly what you order for, and in this case that's kind of what happened, but that's kind of why I need a little more time to get like familiar with it and figure out like how it works, because it wasn't exactly what I expected. So I'm gonna pull from the Sacred Traveler Oracle card deck this week. So here we go. Let's do our reading for this coming week. Let's see what we get. I already shuffled, and my question while I was shuffling was, what message does the universe have for the world? So let's see what we get. And last week, I looked at it first and showed the camera, and I think I'm gonna do it again. Ooh, okay. First, light. Beginning a new cycle. It's such a beautiful card. Okay, well, man, so I had, the past 3 weeks have been kind of interesting. I had grounded, which meant stay inside, dig deep, find your roots. Then I had go outside, and now beginning a new cycle. I feel like this is very symbolic of the lockdown right now. Maybe this means that the lockdown is gonna come to an end soon and we can have some new endeavors in our life. So I'm gonna look it up in the book and I will read what the little guide has to say. Card meaning: a new day has begun in your life. You are at the beginning of a new cycle. It's time to release the old and start again. Wipe the slate clean. Although it's often difficult to release familiar routines, situations, or relationships that no longer empower you, it's now time to set your sights on the future and let go of the past. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know: the traveler faces east toward the sunrise and affirms that a new day and a new cycle have begun. New beginnings are often fraught with the unknown. Yet, the Sacred Traveler has observed on the extended journey that life goes in a cycle. In the cycle of life, the plants die in the autumn so there can be new birth in the spring. The sun rises and the sun sets. It's the universal dance of death and rebirth. There's a time to end and begin. In your life, it's the close of one cycle and the beginning of another. Face fear about the unknown and be willing to begin anew. You will succeed. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, every time I read an oracle card reading like this, I just always think of the coronavirus and what's going on in the world, and I would like to think that this applies to that things are kind of waning and that maybe this new cycle deals with the entire world and what's going on, and that once the chaos subsides, we're all gonna be these new flower buds, like ready to bloom. Like I mean, there's a reason I wore flowers today and I have a flower in my hair. Like, I just think so many of us have been cooped up for so long and we've been working on ourselves, we've been working on our passion projects, we've been recognizing what is truly important. And it's gonna be so fun when we're finally able to truly go outside and show our work off. That's what I love about spring. That's why spring is my favorite season. I would like to think that this first light means that the madness of the world is calming down a little bit. I don't really know. I'm not in the States. I talk with my family and it does sound very like overwhelming right now, but I just try to keep the hope alive that, you know, it will go away. It will go away. Not entirely, but it's going to slow down and we're going to get that sense of normalcy, but it's going to be an awesome normalcy. It's going to be a new normalcy because we're all going to be these new people that we've been working on for so long. Anyway, I love this card too. I think the picture is really beautiful with all the seasons. I woke up this morning and I even thought, I can't believe it's already almost September. Like, this time is flying by. It's insane. Interpret it the way that feels best for you. And I do encourage you to keep working on yourself. Let's keep the hope too. I know that it's a lot harder in America, and I also think in November there's going to be first light after this dang election is over. Yeah. Okay. I don't have anything else to say, so I hope you have a very magical week, and I will see you next week. Bye.